Guys, in this video we're going to be taking some Camaro parts from a door. We're going to be cleaning them up, getting them in the blast cabinet, blasting 30 years of crud off of them, and then we're going to go ahead and powder coat them. We're also going to take some hardware, we're going to blast that, and we're going to restore those using the Duracoat parkerizing process. So stay tuned and let's get started. It's kind of a dreary Monday morning here. Looks like it could rain at any time. Guys, in the summer months I take my fan there that I use for my powder coating and I run another hose over here to the head of the compressor, and it just keeps it a little bit cooler, because once we start blasting and this thing comes on, it's going to run continuous. Right now the blast cabinet uses every bit of the air that this thing can produce. It doesn't never really get behind, but we'll maintain about right at 90 to 100 pounds. And it never builds up enough to cycle on and off. It used to on the smaller cabinet, but this bigger cabinet I've got, it doesn't. Got caught in the rain, we're going to have to make a run for it. There's our blast cabinet. And I think, yeah, there's a bee in there. He better get out of there, he's going to have a bad day. But, there's our small parts in our basket. This is all bolts and stuff. There's all our parts right here. I've already blasted on them some a few days back, and still got quite a bit more to do. What I'll typically do on the blast cabinet is run it for about 30 minutes. As soon as the compressor comes on, I'll look over at my cell phone, look at the time, and I'll just let it run continuous for about 30 minutes. And then usually I'll take a break and do something else. Usually after 30 minutes of standing at this thing, I'm ready to do something else. So let's get started. Alright guys, I'll bring you back when I have something a little bit more interesting to show you. But right now, it's just going to be blasting. So guys, we got the compressor cooling down, and these parts here that's got the glue on it for the felt, well, the blaster won't touch that stuff. You just have to work at it. It'll eventually take it off. But I find that once you do the initial blasting, you just go back and just take a blade or something and just work at removing the bulk of it. And then we'll put it back in the blast cabinet and it should go a lot better. These are just some parts that I've had soaking in simple green. These are for the window rollers, the small plastic pieces that go with them. And they've been sitting in this simple green for a while, probably a few days. But they look brand new. And you can buy those front rollers with this plastic pieces or without. They're a little bit more expensive if you buy it with the full hardware on it. But as you can see, that cleans up just fine, and the plastic's in really good shape. It's not brittle, it's not cracked, it's still real flexible and everything. Also got the window stops in here. But all these are cleaning up really nice. Okay guys, still having a little trouble getting some of this glue off. I've been scraping it with a screwdriver, soaked it in some solvent. The media just kind of bounces off of it. Of course, I'm kind of due a change on that media, but the best way that I found to get rid of it is just a wire wheel. So we'll throw that back in the blast cabinet and we'll be moving forward. I got all the parts out of the blast cabinet. I've got them inspected and got them cleaned up, and I've got hangers on them. They're drying right now. We're ready to go as soon as that stuff dries a little bit more. Usually wait about 30 minutes and then we'll get them down there, and we'll go ahead and put them in the powder coat oven and run them through a cycle at about 500 degrees for about 10 minutes, just to, if there's anything in the metal that it'll outgas. Usually I don't have trouble with that. The last time I did one of those door pull rods, it outgassed on me really bad. It looks like dirt in the paint. That's what it would look like. The reason you do that is you bake it at a higher temperature, and that way if something's going to release, it's going to release before it's coated, and you'll be able to see it, get it all cleaned off, get it ready to go, and then do the coating. This particular powder cures at 375 degrees for 20 minutes after flow out. And this isn't really going to be a how-to powder coat video by any means. I've just decided to bring you along. If I made this a how-to, this video would be really long. But right here is our door lock rod. And you can see the threads for the knob that would go on here. Now you don't want to powder coat any of the threads or anything like that. So we take provisions for that. What we'll do, we'll tape this up. But before I tape it up, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the Duracoat Parkerizing solution. The only thing is, I'm not going to put the oil on it. As soon as it comes out of the solution, I'm going to hit it with some compressed air, dry it real quick. We'll go ahead and we'll tape it up with the high temperature tape. We'll put a hook on it, and then we'll coat it. And once it's powder coated, we'll take that tape off and we can go ahead and oil it at that time, and we should be good to go. That's how I usually do it, and it turns out looking pretty sweet. So you can see what that looks like right there. We'll tape up the threads and then we'll be ready to go. So right there we go, guys. So go ahead and I'm going to clean this part right down here one more time. I'm going to get all these parts set up in the oven for a pre-bake. I'll bring you back and give you a shot of that, and we'll be ready to coat these parts. Just coming off of the pre-bake cycle, one thing about this pre-baking is it gives you a chance to kind of plan where you're going to hang the parts. You see that one real long door latch rod? That's kind of tricky to get in there, and it's actually moved a little bit on me, and it's kind of rubbing there on the side. But we'll see if we can't fix that on the regular bake. We're going to let this cool down, and then we'll be ready to coat. Here we go. Okay guys, that's what we're looking like. Hopefully they'll flow out okay. We're about to find out. Right now the oven is cold. We're headed to 350 and then we'll do 375. We'll keep a watch on it and adjust accordingly. We got 20 minutes to go once we get flow out. We're just now starting to flow out. We haven't started our timer yet. But you can see it going wet. We are out of the oven. Everything's cooled down. And these parts just turned out fantastic. Really like the way they turned out. Sometimes when you run a wire through these parts, you'll actually get a line through there that the powder didn't take to. But I don't see that on this one. But if that's the case, what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of acetone, mix it with the powder to make it a liquid form, and then I'll just take a fine paintbrush and put over where my hanger mark is. These rods, I was worried about the powder building up where the clip goes, so I tied the wire basically right where the clip would slip over and lock into the rod, so there isn't any powder in that groove. At least there shouldn't be. Alright, here is the shot of the restored and cleaned hardwire. This hardwire was restored using the Duracoat parkerizing process. Right here is the finished product. All our rods. This is our window fuzzies. I put the Velcro on a couple of them just so you could get an idea of what that looks like. Our window stops, front window rollers, glass mounts, mirror brackets, and window stop. This is a really cool billet aluminum door lock knob. Pretty neat. Guys, this is restoration work to me. I know everybody's anxious for me to get back onto the Camaro, and I'm promising you that that is coming. But we got to get through some of these small details first on these doors. And I'm looking forward to finishing them up. If you like this kind of content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And also check out the playlist here on the channel. And with that being said, I'll catch you on the next one.